How's everybody doing, okay? You ready for a revolution? Man, I feel so blessed to be here. You know, I'm standing back there, I'm watching that video, I'm thinking a couple things. The first thing is, obviously, I've got a lot of weight to lose. The second thing I'm thinking is, it's so special to be here right now. That Momentous is not like any other company that's come before it. And I was watching that video, I'm thinking what you're trying to figure out what you guys are thinking, because I don't want to be the person that messes this up, you know? I mean, this is a big deal. We are setting a precedent here today. This weekend was put together out of the vision of a bunch of different people, actually, at the corporate staff. You know, we decided that we wanted to lay a foundation for everybody to grow from. What you see in front of you is what you get from Momentous. I mean, does this look fantastic or what? Is this not? It's pretty amazing. The geniuses that put this together, who you'll meet tomorrow afternoon, we were talking about it. The normal run-up for a show like this is 4 months. We gave them 2 weeks. So we like to challenge people, as you guys know, but Momentous is moving fast, isn't it? And a lot of things are happening. We are the best kept secret in network marketing across the world, but it's not going to be for very long. So if you're here today, I applaud you, because you are truly at the beginning of something very special. We all know that you know, things take work, right? It's going to be network marketing, not work marketing. And it's going to be a challenge for some people. But when you can have support like this, this stretches your vision a little bit, that you'll understand what you can possibly gain for you and your family, hopefully that you'll push through those hard times and stay with us, because this is really the beginning. If you look around, I want everybody, before you leave this weekend, take a bunch of pictures, you know, walk up here during the breaks, not during the actual show, but walk up during the breaks, come up here and see what it's like, and imagine yourself standing up here as one of the top earners. Throughout the weekend, there are a lot of things that are going to be happening. We're going to be launching new services, and we've got some great people to do that from the, I mean, exciting services, by the way, guys. New areas. We're going to be talking about new trainings, new business presentations. We want you to get a feel for how, this is where evolution and revolution came together. You're going to see the evolution of Momentous from just a company that was kind of, I think, underperforming. We weren't doing what we needed to do. And I know we have some reps in the audience right now that have been with us from day one. They will be recognized also over the weekend, the next couple days. But you have to understand that this idea, we all knew it was the right idea. We just wanted to create some momentum behind it, right? When Chris Domhoff, our original CEO and one of the visionaries that put this company together, one of my best buddies, and I love him to death today. I think he deserves a big round of applause. When Chris and I were sitting, we were talking about naming the company back, geez, 18, 19 months ago. We were talking about it, and we wanted to play off the word momentum, because in my 17+ years in network marketing, all I've ever wanted to create, and every time I made some money like that really changed my life, is because we had what we call momentum, right? We create enough I guess it's momentum, going forward, that it was just like it pulled people along with this. People just wanted to join our business. And I know some of you maybe never experienced that, but we're going to do that as a company. So many companies are run by people that have never been reps. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I just know that as I sit here and I make decisions and I bounce it off our other corporate staff, who you guys know, and they'll all be up here at some point or another, and we talk about the business, I'm thinking just like you. I'm thinking, if I have to go do a presentation tomorrow, how can it affect you, and what would I want to see? What gives me the power to go and pull people along with me? And I want to ask you a question. What did you guys think of the promos over the last couple months? You pretty excited about how they run? Can you see how that influences those promos, right? I had so many people come up to me and go, finally, these promos really make sense. Now it really helped me. If you could, our production in August as a family, what we all did, was so incredible. It just absolutely blew. We never even let ourselves think we could do that, honestly. It went so far, and it just kept going. We had days in August. And by the way, anybody knows that has experience in networking, August is supposed to be a slow month, right? Like a month where I had buddies calling me from other companies saying, we've got nothing going on. We got to do events to try to get stuff going. I'm thinking, yeah, us too. And I'm watching the numbers tick, right? One rep after another come in. We had days where several hundred people, new representatives, would join. Days. You know, when you start in a startup company like Momentous was last year, we had months where we didn't have several hundred people join as reps. And we still thought we were doing okay. But in the month of August, we set, that for me is the first step forward as our company. All of you are going to benefit from that. I literally know this. I'm not talking from theory. I'm not talking because I read it in a book or a magazine about networking. I've lived this. This is how I raised my family, my wife and I. This is how our children eat, right? It's from networking, from being able to put somebody in a business, help them get qualified, and build a business. So this is what I do. And I can tell you that our top 100 money earners going forward 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, will come from this room right now. And that is going to mean, yes. And as if anybody's knows this, that our compensation plan is pretty awesome, isn't it? So if you're going to be a top 100 money earner with us, you better be prepared to make a lot of money. And you better, yeah, I know we're going to teach you how to handle that too. We're going to do everything we can so that you can keep that money. You guys know that our company's different. You see the way that we pick up a lot of expenses, hotel rooms on people that are coming here today, right? Yeah. We knew you were going to get your money's worth for this event because it was free, right? So we figured you were going to be happy with that. But we also, if you got the leaders out there, know that we have a hotel program where we pay all across the country dozens and dozens and dozens of hotel rooms for weekly meetings. That's because Momentous is different. That's because we want you to keep the money you're making. We want you to literally make an impact at your family level because we know long term that if you can be happy, healthy, and financially where you want to be, you're going to be such a better beacon out there for people to come to for Momentous. You're going to attract the people that we can help. And that's what we're here to do. So you're going to see all kinds of things this weekend. Literally, we have people from outside our company coming in to talk to you, some of the people that support our company that you guys use every day. We have some of our best leaders that are going to be up here training on what they do. By the way, just so you guys know, this is our first big event like this. We've done other events, but this is the first one. We did this event knowing we were overkilling it with the room and all this. I mean, we knew that this is a 10,000 person event. That's what it should be, right, for this kind of stuff. But we wanted you to know because we talk so much about the money we have. We talk so much about the resources and how we're different. We want to put our money where our mouth is. So now that we've shown you, I want everybody just for a moment, take all the baggage you've ever had in networking or business, put it aside, and just for a moment, I know this is hard for some people because people are skeptical and cynical and stuff. You might be here and yet you're not 100% here. You know what I mean? It's tough to let yourself really believe this is the one. But just for a moment, imagine that we're at the American Airlines Arena in Dallas, Texas, and there are going to be 25,000 people there. And when you walk across that stage as a top 100 money earner, it means you're making 6 figures a month from your company. And you are making that not based on your production, but because of a residual income that was created because of the timing of when you got started and the effort that you put in years before. And if you will just let yourself one moment imagine that, then when you walk out of here, my job's done, because that's what, it has to start with you. You must be the one that believes it enough to go to work and do it. If you will do that, we're going to put a track out there for you to run on. I know that the purpose of this company is not to make you money. The purpose of this company is to put an opportunity in front of you to go out and create it yourself. And if you will listen to the leaders as they come across here, people that, by the way, the only ones I'll put up on this stage, and Mike Adams, our Senior Vice President, feels the same way. The only people that will come across the stage and train you are people that are working and producing. Not because they've been in before anybody else, and not because they're making, it's not that we want people that are working the business on a daily, so when they talk to you, it's current events that they're talking about. Does that make sense, everybody? So as we begin this weekend, I have so many things that I want you guys to pick up. So everybody needs a pen and paper. I know we're here to get excited. There are going to be moments of just pure excitement and things like that, but I want you to write down, and I want you to start to formulate a family plan. I talk about family all the time because, look, this is going to take sacrifice. Before we walk out of here tomorrow afternoon, late tomorrow afternoon, we're going to have a one-year plan. I'm going to challenge you guys for 1 year to go to work at Momentous. I was told a long time ago by a billionaire guy, a guy named Kenny Trout, started Excel. Some of you know the name of the company. Kenny Trout, it's kind of a stupid story, but you know me, I'll tell you exactly how it is. I'm getting on the elevator over at the Anatole one time with a buddy of mine, and Kenny was just, we were blowing and going. We were over $1 billion. He was like a rock star to us, right? So as he gets on the thing, he pushes 25, I think it is, for the top floor. He's going to a meeting, right? We had pushed 9. So I immediately pushed every button up there, because there's just my buddy and him, right? So every time we go, ding, ding, it stopped, ding. And so he looked and finally he goes, is something broken? I said, no, I was just asking him questions. So every time it would go, stop, stop, stop. And by the time we got there, it was like 5 minutes we got to spend with Kenny in an elevator. And I asked him, I said, what's the number one thing that you would tell me to do for my family? I was 24, 25 years old at the time. Because of momentum in that company, I was making $30,000 a month. I mean, we were young making that money, not understanding even how it was working really. And I said, what would you tell me to do? And he looked me in the eye and he said, the problem with most networkers is that they evaluate their business on a daily, weekly, or monthly level. You don't do that. The progress of your business needs to be evaluated on a yearly level. So you take 1 year and evaluate, are we where we want to be? But on a daily level, you watch and you evaluate your activity. If you will do that, and honestly, I sat down, I wrote it down, he was talking, as soon as he got off, I sat down, I said, I'm gonna write that down, right? I put it on a big poster board in my room, and in my office in the house, I've called it my office, it was just part of our bedroom, and I put it on there, and every day I looked at it, and I said, evaluate my activity every day, and if you can, right here, this weekend, get a daily plan for you and your family, that the activity you want, but then commit that for 1 year, you're not gonna look around. You're not gonna look see if the grass is greener somewhere else. You're not gonna listen to the next juice thing that comes along. You're going to focus in and just say, I don't care if it's 10 hours a week, but those 10 hours, you're gonna make it count. Those 10 hours you're gonna put into it because it's a plan that you're working. And if you will do that, guess what your group will do? The same thing. They'll start to duplicate that. And if that is an army of people, you can start over the next year, if you will do that with the timing combined of this company and where we're going with all the announcements you're gonna hear, literally there is no question in my mind that you can completely change, listen, completely change your financial situation. And what's the difference of that? Because you guys know I've been doing this a long time, and you know, I don't go around telling everybody I'm a network marketer, but you know, it's probably not hard to find out. One time I was sitting on a plane flying to Indianapolis to see my dad, who's actually out in the audience somewhere today, wherever he is. Pops, love you, man. Thanks for what you did, for having me and everything. That was really nice of you. You know, he loaned me the money to get started in network marketing, in case you guys don't know that. $700, it meant a lot. It changed my life. Anyway, I was sitting on a plane one time going up to see my dad, and I see a guy get on the plane, right? And this guy's wearing like a Tommy Bahama shirt. He's got a gold bracelet, the big Rolex watch. He's saying hi to everybody. You know, he's talking to the steward. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you, stuff like that. He's walking by, slapping him on the side. Good to see you. We're gonna have a great flight. And he's saying all that stuff. So I see him coming towards me, right? And he's coming to say, as soon as he sits down, I go, what company are you in? And he goes, what do you mean? I said, you're a network marketer? And he goes, how did you know? And I go, because only networkers act that way, right? I mean, you can see him coming from a mile away. His name was Bill Whittle. He was a big dog at Prime America, making $4 million a year. We had a 2-hour conversation about network marketing. We talked about the way that it becomes a way of life. And that's exactly how it has become for me. This was, geez, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And it's exactly what, it became a part of me. Networking does, right? So I don't go out to do network marketing goes with me. This is what I want to happen to our reps. I want you guys to understand it becomes a way of life. But I was talking to a friend of mine that is a doctor. And this doctor is one of those doctors, went to Ivy League school, graduated actually from Duke Medical University or whatever that school is that he went to. Obviously, I'm not that sharp about that stuff. And he went to Duke, and very smart individual. And I sat him down one day, we were talking about the business, and he basically told me in his way of telling me that he's above that, right? I mean, it's below him to do networking. Networking is for people that didn't graduate college, people like me, right, that didn't graduate college. So, and as he's telling me this, I'm thinking to myself, at the time I was making $60,000, $70,000 a month, right? And I'm thinking to myself, what do you mean? I mean, it's something bad? I mean, what, 60, 70,000. So I'm sitting there, and literally when I left there, I'm not exaggerating, I felt bad about myself. I'm like, I'm a bum, man. You know, I'm going, I only make 700 grand a year. I can't believe this, man. I'm a bum. I knew it. I go home, and Amy's like, why are you so down? I said, well, Doc told me I'm, you know, basically an idiot. And that's why I'm lucky to have network. She's like, well, baby, why do you feel this way? So next time we see Doc and his wife, she says, hey, she's asking his wife, you know, he's an OB/GYN. He said, what does he make on a yearly basis? And she's like, oh, we had a good year this year, $370,000. I know, I was like, what? So we're going home, and Amy's like, hey, I got some news for you. I said, what? She said, do you know that Duke graduate, Ivy League school guy, do you know what he makes a year? I said, no. And it's not all about that, right? But it is. $370,000, it was their best year ever. And I was like, what? $370,000? I couldn't live on $370,000. How's he live on $370,000? And all of a sudden I started thinking to myself, what's the difference between $100,000 a year in network marketing, $100,000 a year as a doctor? What's the difference? Well, there's really no difference in the money, right? The difference is I can fish on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Everybody else has to fish on the weekends, right? So listen, here's my point. Forget it. This is about making some money. Momentous was never meant to be a social club. It was never meant to be a church. It's not meant to be anything but a moneymaker. What we bring to it, the culture we add as people, because as we're working together, we want to create something special, right? That's up to us. We do that. But Momentous as a vehicle for you and your family is awesome. The money that, let me take this one. One of the companies that you guys know I worked for before, their top North American rep is a guy that with my partner, we personally sponsored him in that company, a couple $100,000 a month. If he were here with us doing the exact same thing, he'd make almost $700,000 a month. Think of the difference in that. I know all of you are going, I'll take the 200, right? But that 700 is a huge difference. For you and for me, that means we are in the most powerful compensation plan on the planet of network marketing, and you should be very, very proud about that. So as you see the trainings, as you see the new territories being opened up, imagine your group going there. Imagine that as you talk to somebody in your backyard, in your hometown, somebody knows somebody in Quebec, somebody knows somebody in Georgia, somebody knows somebody in Florida, and it starts going around. Then we have to start thinking bigger, right? Because this weekend you're going to start hearing about going overseas to other countries, other continents as we grow. And let me tell you, and I mean this with all my heart, I have worked with representatives who have made $1 million a month. I know a lot of my personal reps that I personally sponsored made several $100,000 a month. And it's not all about the money, but really it is, right? And these guys have made a ton of money. And every time they did it because of timing. Because a new service came out and they capitalized. A new area opened up. I mean, I've done this I've opened 11 countries for network marketing companies where we actually go in and pre-launch and do those. Can you imagine that we are going to take Momentous around the world, and yet we haven't at all yet? We're not even done in North America. We're going to launch different states and provinces this weekend, but we're talking already about the UK and Europe. And then you guys know that I want to go to Asia as fast as we can. And you know that south of here, there are a bunch of people that need to make some money, right, for services that make sense. Just think that as you sit here right now, no matter what you do, you won't be able to stop Momentous once you get it going. Because the idea and all the principles that it's based upon have been developed through decades of network marketing. And you're going to see that today. I want you guys to know that you're going to get the most out of this weekend, but if you put the most into it, if you really buy into what we're saying. Don't just sit there and think, you know, I messed up, I didn't have more people here. Or don't just sit there thinking, you know, it's another deal I'm going to for the weekend. Some people love to come to these events just for the weekend to have fun, right? I get that. But I'm looking for that group of people that are saying, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want to do something different for my family. My family deserves more. And I know this feeling so well. This is the feeling that drives me every day. I want all of you to know who I am. I want you to get to know me because I am an independent rep like you. That's how I started in this company. It's how I perceive myself in this company. So I want you to know something, because you know, there's been a lot of questions about, you know, you can go on the internet, read things, right, about our company, Just Energy, all these things. Guys, please, you understand that you can believe only some of the things you read on the internet. Does everybody understand that, right? If you see, when you get to meet the Just Energy executives up here, ask them, get to know them as people as well, if you get a chance to do that. But I want you guys to know, I don't want to be anything I'm not. The one thing I promised myself, and I told one of my good friends, Tim Sparkman, that we were talking about, and Refugio Rodriguez, we were talking about it last night. You know, I was so hard off 3 years ago that because I had made decisions, so we had made years of making a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money, right? And money that you would think you couldn't lose. You'd have to be a total idiot to go broke after you made that kind of money. Well, that's me, right? Because I thought, boy, the real estate market's awesome. So I bought 3 big commercial pieces of property in '07. Do you think that was pretty good? Yeah, right, okay. I missed that conference on real estate intelligence. Bought those, a few $1 million gone, like that. Tried to launch my own company right at '07. Really good idea, just like that. I had to sit down with my wife and tell her that, Amy, this is my high school sweetheart, the woman that I love more than anything, our 4 kids, and I had to tell her, we've lost it. We're broke. We're worse than broke. I've got nothing. I mean, I don't even know where to go next. And I remember she sat there and said, baby, you're gonna work through it, and I'm behind you 100%. It was never even a question of that. And then one day I caught her she was in the laundry room. I didn't have anything to do. I mean, I started literally trying to figure out, how am I gonna even eat? How am I gonna pay for the gas in the cars that I'm probably gonna lose? Does anybody ever know anybody that's been there? Don't say it if it's you, but you know what I'm talking about. It's tough sometimes, right? And so you're not thinking about building a residual income at that point. You're thinking, how am I gonna keep my lights on, right? That's why it makes so much sense what we do. I was at that just 3 years ago. We were there, and it happened overnight, literally, like, bing, bad decisions, gone, everything, millions lost, just like that. And so we had to regroup. And when we were regrouping, now today, if you ask my wife and I, either one of us, and I will tell you with all my heart, the greatest thing that ever happened to me was losing everything at that point. Those handcuffs that are golden handcuffs that so many of my friends that are in other companies that say, I can't leave, man, I'm making $10,000 a month. And I think, you're trading the best. I mean, that's just good, right? That's good, it's not bad, but it's not the best. It's not everything you can have. When I lost everything, it was like getting freed. Like, okay, let's go do this again, let's do it right. Everything I've done in Momentous is based from that moment. Everything that we've done is based on, I never, ever, ever want to go back to that moment. I don't ever want to look at my wife again and have to tell her anything but, you deserve it, you get what you want. Or we can help this family member, because you realize that we're here, we represent our families and all those families that are connected. It's more than just you that's here today, right? I mean, we want to help people, we want to give back. That's what we're attracting at Momentous, and that's the message we want to get across. But I'm going to tell you something, and this is me, it's not Momentous. I know some people get upset when I say this, but I believe with all my heart that sometimes God's got to take something away to give you something better. And that's exactly what happened to Amy and I. And what was born of that idea, is Momentous. You know, a lot of people have asked me, and today even people coming up to me, you know, Andy, you're working so hard, I'm like, are you kidding? This is the easiest thing I've ever done. When you believe as much as I do, and when you've been through as much, when you have a real opportunity, this is where I messed up. You know, I was in companies at the perfect timing, making 20, 30, and it stole my ambition. And some of that's gonna do it for you too. You know, you're gonna go out there, you're gonna make some money that you didn't even think you could make, and all of a sudden you're gonna shut the jets off and coast. And I'm gonna tell you something, take it from somebody that's lived this. When it's good, you drive harder. You work harder, you work a little bit later, you get up a little bit earlier, you do more meetings, you talk to more people, you sacrifice more. Because when it's good, you can make it great. And when it's great, you can make it the best. And if you will change and you will go to work and with that attitude, just like I did September 17th of last year, and I told Amy, for the first time in my life, I'm giving it everything I've got. I'm not holding anything back. Went on the road for 7 months straight, and you can ask some of the Canadians here, for 7 months straight, my weekly meeting and weekly training were in Toronto, Canada, where I lived in Fort Myers, Florida. Every Tuesday morning, I got on a 6 a.m. flight, came back at 11 o'clock at night on Saturday. And that was hard because I love my family. Right now, I'm missing my kids. I was standing back there thinking about my kids. What are they doing today, right? Another thing where daddy's not home, they only live 20 minutes away. That's great, but because we moved here. But I'm still missing them, just like some of you are, or maybe some of you aren't missing them because you're around them all the time, but I get that too. But I've been gone so much, I'm missing them, right? My wife had to go pick them up. She had to leave. I was like, baby, don't leave, you know, just stay here and hang out with me. I don't want her to leave. But I'm gonna tell you something. If it's worth it, it's worth it. And right now, what you see is, where we started, I keep saying this and everybody laughs, but we had more banners in the room than we had guests at our first meeting at Momentous. I literally told people, grab a banner on your way out thank you for coming. It's nice to have you here. Grab one on your way out. And Andy Ali will tell you, he was there at that meeting. You know, Don Bell was at that meeting. There are two people that were, I might be the only two here that were at those original meetings, April of last year, of 10. So now we've got this in front of you. You've got an awesome weekend that's coming. As long as you put something into it, take the notes, ask the questions, get with the leaders that are out there, find out what they're doing, network, get numbers, get emails, get plugged into what's happening, because our top earners, as they come across here and train you, are making a lot of money, and we're just beginning. We're not even a tenth, we're not even 100th of where we're going. Over the next 6 months, let me explain as fast as I can. We're going to have another event in December. Then we're coming back here in February. As we do this, as we rebrand and a new Momentous is evolved right in front of your eyes, every single one of you should have exponential growth in your business. So when you walk back into the next event at Momentous and it's 10 times bigger, and you're sitting here, if you're making 1,000, you should be making 10,000 a week. If you're making 10,000, you should be making 100,000 a week. If you're making nothing, let's get started today, right? Let's actually make a commitment to get started. Yes. If you will just believe enough to work if you'll just put your head down and go to work and do the things you're going to learn up here, make it your own, be passionate and sincere, it's going to work for you. Our commitment to you as the Momentous corporate staff is that we will not be outworked. I'm telling you right now. We're going to work harder, smarter. We're going to put a better opportunity out there. We will put it for you. If you will run on the track, we'll keep making it better. And you're going to see that today. So let's get started. Are you guys ready? All right.